and expect a real tussle between LMH and Hartford in these early stages. And in those early stages, we are in now underway. Women's Division 6 for Summer Torpedoes. Great start for Christchurch. And same as St. Cat's as well, looking to get that jump on them. But I imagine that's one we'll track as we get down towards the gut. Going with them, though, Hartford with their antlers. We can see them coming into the middle of our camera shot at the moment. LMH chasing them down, but currently chasing LMH. University College, great start from them. Really great start from them. Similar to St. Peter's as well. Very much hunting down University College. I think LMH have got to be careful. They've got to be careful as they head under Donington Bridge. We'll hopefully get the camera shot 2 looking down towards the gut, see what's going on. Look to be sort of they're a great start from Christchurch. Great start. And Adam, what do you make of the line that they're taking down towards the gut?
Yes, they could be nice and tight to the footpath side there of the river. They could probably have been a little bit closer because they're really trying to kiss that apex there to really shave off the distance. And St. Catherine went round a little bit wide, and considering they're chasing down the boathead, they haven't had a concession. They should have taken a tighter line on that corner, because now you see they're doing massive swerves around that gut. Now we're looking at St. Peter's. If we zoom out a little bit, we can see where they stand. Oh, they must be going under the bridge.
Yeah, great start there from LMH. They got that bump on Hartford just as we thought they might. Tough day for Hartford. The headwear clearly not quite working out for them. But they've now got to hang on. They've got to hang on. We see University College there in the forefront of your shot. They're going to try and chase them down. University College probably got a long row ahead of them to catch up with Hartford. But that's the goal. That's the goal, to catch up with them, to get up a bump or two in the division. And we can also see coming into shot, Adam has just mentioned there, St. Peter's. St. Peter's look to be just dropping back on University College. So they've got some work to do, but it very much looks like they're set to either row over or bumped from behind. But they're putting distance into the likes of Magdalen, who we can't quite see coming into the shot yet. So that's suggesting a good start from St. Peter's, just pulling away from Magdalen. We'll stick with this camera shot just a little bit longer, but actually we're going to head to Longridge now. We're going to head to Longridge, and Adam, is that Christchurch still pulling out in front of St. Cat's?
I think it is, yeah, and that's a very, very big gap indeed. So my prediction there was wrong. Christchurch obviously had planned for a potential attack on Christchurch, and have now really pushed away. They've increased that gap. That's much bigger than the initial gap they had at the start line. They must have about 2.5 to 3 boat lengths there. So unless they've given it everything to create that gap, they should be able to keep that all the way up to the finish and should be safe. So those first 3 boats we've seen across our screens, Christchurch, St. Cat's and Hartford, I think are well spaced out, as well as this coming in. This is LMH coming in shot now, which has no immediate threat to it whatsoever. All these boats are actually quite spaced out, so I think all the ones we're seeing are probably going to roll over.
So it's a great shot we've got here from Longridge. A great view of all the crews. And if we can zoom in just a little bit on these crews, we're able to find out exactly what's going on. Look at some of the technique that's going on as well. But I think from my eye, which is hopefully on the improvement, it looks to be St. Peter's. Is still chasing down University College. Looks like they're just going to roll over, as we mentioned earlier on in this division. It looks like St. Peter's set to roll over the course, probably not challenging University, but also not in fear of those crews who are behind them or so. Actually, we still do see some of those crews behind them. We haven't seen the likes of Magdalen, Bennett Hall, Christchurch's second 8 in this division, but also the Sandwich crew, Teddy Hall. So very excited to see what's going on there. So we can start to see some of them making their appearance there. Now, from my eyes, it looks to be Teddy Hall, the
so these are the boats that have bumped out. They're below the launch. So these are the ones that have managed to bump a boat ahead of them, and now they're just paddling in. So you're right, we have Teddy Hall, LMH above them, and Magdalen. So those are the 3 definite bumps. I will just cross those ones out.
So yeah, it looks to be Teddy Hall who have bumped Christchurch. So a great really strong performance there from the Sandwich crew, who have already raced today already. Well done to Teddy Hall and Magdalen there. Looked to have gone and bumped, I think, onto St. Peter's. And great start from Magdalen, getting that bump in nice and early up at Donington Bridge. So a great start from Magdalen, who'll move up in this division as well. We're now round at our final camera at New College Boathouse, and I do believe that is Hartford just coming in front of the camera. A couple of 100 meters or so left for their race.
Yeah, we're just cheering them on now just to get past that finish line. It's we've said multiple times now, it's a 1.8 kilometer stretch. It's a very hard and long stretch of river to row over, but they're staying together. They're committed to this full stretch now, and they're just trying to get it home nice and safely. They shouldn't be worrying about University Boat Club College behind them. There's a big enough gap, and they're close enough to the finish line now. But no, so they're all just rowing over, and these are in shot now where these are the boats that bumped out that we mentioned earlier. So they'll be just rowing it in to land. And as again, Teddy Hall was definitely, the Sandwich boat that we mentioned was definitely one of the superstars of this division. And I'll be interested to see over the next 2 days if they can continue to bump up. I think they potentially can. They seem to have a really nice start sequence, and as well have some really good timing in those strokes, very technical rowing. And that really helps with these kinds of events, especially when there's a lot of rush and panic around you. You want that crew to be completely synced up and in time, placing that blade in the water and pushing off together, because that makes a massive difference to the feel of the boat. And these are the last few crews now kind of passing the finish line. So St. Peter's, we have Hartford above the 2 above that, and probably University. It must be University 3, unless, no, it's University 3, I think. So I think that's the end of that division. So in the end, there wasn't. So if you remember, we mentioned that LMH, W2, University W3, and St. Peter's W2 might have a bit of a battle, and they ended up being quite spaced out in the end. So I wonder potentially either if they had the same strategy of kind of trying to do an attack off the start sequence potentially, but if they all did it together, then that didn't change anything. Or I don't know how they ended up being so far apart after yesterday, where they were actually quite close from my recollection. But it also means that they'll be chasing each other again tomorrow. So they'll have to keep adapting those strategies to try and see if there's any way of breaking through and getting a bump. And now on the raft, we see the men's boats getting ready.
I think also worth noting, there we see, I was about to say, we haven't seen St. Bennett's or Christchurch yet in this division, but there we see St. Bennett's just coming into shot, and they are the last boat. So I think that would suggest that we had a bump from Christchurch in the same way that Teddy Hall bumped Christchurch. We're waiting for, we'll get the provisional results, but I think Christchurch will have bumped St. Bennett's, but we'll of course confirm that once we get all the results coming through.
And if that did happen, that would mean that Teddy Hall got an overbump, and that means they actually went up 2 positions. So that would be an amazing achievement, or an amazing result rather, for Teddy Hall, who were in the lower division only yesterday and have shot up the ranks in the last 2 days. So fingers crossed for them that they did get that overbump, as you said, and Christchurch did bump St. Bennet all. So very exciting. I look forward to seeing the results of that to understand fully what happened.